This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, May 24th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. The day we have waited for all week is finally here. It is the end of commissioning week, and you can go back to being your crabby self tomorrow. But for today, you want to avoid the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium from 6 a.m. till about 10 a.m. when the commissioning and graduation ceremonies begin, and then again probably from 12:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. as the crowds let out and filter back onto the highways. After 3 p.m., all you've got to deal with is the traffic on the highways for Memorial Day weekend. In a follow-up to the suit filed against HACA, former Alderwoman Shanika Henson, current Delegate Shanika Henson from District 30A, released a statement yesterday saying, "The housing conditions described by our public housing residents are unacceptable. Everyone deserves safe, quality housing. As an alderwoman, I fought to reinitiate HACA property inspections and was able to secure $80,000 in the mayor's proposed FY 2020 budget for that purpose. As delegate for District 30A, I have pledged to work with the DHCD to give Annapolis and other smaller public housing associations a fair shot at the state's redevelopment dollars." This will be a big story going throughout the summer. Over in the State House, House Speaker Adrian Jones wants a plaque removed from the State House wall that pays tribute to both Union and Confederate soldiers who died during the Civil War. In a letter sent yesterday to the State House Trust, which is the group that oversees the alterations and repairs and everything else to the Capitol building and the grounds, she said, "The message projected by this plaque does not seek to correctly document history, but instead sympathizes with the Confederate motivations and memorializes Confederate soldiers." Now, a little bit about the plaque. It does talk about its purpose. They say it is there to ensure that Maryland, quote, "leaves for posterity evidence for her remembrance of the nearly 63,000 native sons who served in the Union forces and the more than 22,000 in those of the Confederacy in the war between the states." It goes on to say that the commission that erected the plaque in 1964 did not attempt to decide who was right and who was wrong or to make decisions on other controversial issues, and noted that the citizens who, during the Civil War, tried to do their duty as they saw it. In her letter, Jones said, "History clearly tells us that there was a right and a wrong side to the Civil War and, quote, doing their duty as they saw it, quote, does not give a pass to the cause these soldiers fought for." Well, we all know that War of Will won the 144th Preakness, but what we didn't know until today is that NBC says the race drew 5.4 million viewers for that race segment. Pretty big number, huh? Well, not so fast. It is the lowest number NBC has had since 2001 when they actually acquired the rights to the race. ABC's last time with the Preakness in 2000 was a little bit lower at 4.9 million. This year's race was without a Kentucky Derby winner for the first time since 1996, so that probably had some sway with that. But to put it in perspective, last year's Preakness drew 7.9 million viewers. That's 2.5 million viewers less. It's a lot of viewers. Actually, at the racetrack, the Preakness drew a crowd of 131,256, which was down 2.5% from 2018. But apparently, the amount of money that was bet was a little bit higher than it was. Hey, this is kind of cool. If you've ever been up to Baltimore and seen Mr. Trash Wheel roaming around the harbor, and it is a thing that just self-propels itself around the harbor, scooping trash out. Well, sometimes they found really cool stuff, and the people that operate it, the Waterfront Partnership, is auctioning off 4 special items that have been recovered. One item is a well-worn football signed by Ravens kicker Justin Tucker and former Ravens Eugene Monroe and Tyrod Taylor. Some of the other items up for auction are a baseball bat, a collection of, quote, genuine polystyrene. And, of course, that's a nod to the polystyrene, which will be banned in Maryland very shortly. And they also claim that they have an Elmo plush doll, which they say is quite possibly possessed. I think this is a great way to clean up the harbor and have some fun up in Baltimore. If you want more information on that or want to bid on any of these items, check out the Waterfront Partnership's Facebook page, or you can get the information over on Mr. Trash Wheel's Facebook page. Hey, on Saturday, just a quick reminder, we are releasing every Saturday at noon a Legacy Business Series. And what we do is we go around to local businesses and talk about how they've succeeded over the years and what their future looks like. We've had about 5 of them so far. You can go back and check them out. They release Saturdays at noon. And up this week is the Cyphers Agency, which is an advertising agency in Crofton now, but they got their start in Annapolis. We spoke with Dave Cyphers, who told us how he started way back when, how he grew in Annapolis and grew more in Annapolis and ultimately ended up in Crofton. Quite a fascinating conversation. A little bit of housekeeping. We will not be releasing a daily news brief on Monday morning. It is Memorial Day, and we want you to have a great weekend, but we want you to remember those who gave it all, not just Monday, but every day. All right, that does it for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. Give a click on that first link in the show notes because it'll tell you all the different ways that you can connect with us. And if you are someplace where you can leave us a rating or a review, please do that. And of course, give us a recommendation to your friends, your colleagues, your families. And if you run across an enemy or two, tell them about us too. It certainly can't hurt. It is Friday, so we've got a list of things that you might want to consider over the weekend. And we have George Young with your locally forecast Memorial Day weather report coming up in just a minute. He's from DMV Weather, but first we want to talk a little bit about Mac Medics in Severna Park. If you have a Mac, if you have an iPhone, if you've got an Apple Watch, listen up.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is Mac Medics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore, Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, May 24th. After some nasty afternoon thunderstorms yesterday that were associated with a frontal boundary moving through the Annapolis region, today will be sunshine and 77 to 84 for highs, though it will be a bit breezy at times with gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then winds will calm a bit tomorrow with bright sunshine and temps again in the low 80s to kick off the holiday weekend, before more sunshine and warmer temps in the mid 80s to maybe even lower 90s on Sunday, before another very nice day on Memorial Day Monday with highs 80 to 85 degrees. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Be safe and have fun and make it a great, long, mostly very dry holiday weekend out there wherever you go and whatever you do. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMD VA Weather in the Apple or Google app stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com, so you can always stay weather informed.
I'm Annapolis City Mayor Gavin Buckley. May 17th to the 24th is commissioning week. We have lots of out-of-town visitors. There's going to be increased traffic and lots of people who don't know their way around the city. Be patient, be kind. There will be road closures. Give yourself extra time. This is a big event for these families, and it's such a big part of our identity. The restaurants, the hotels, the shops rely on increased revenue at this time. So thank you for your support. We love this event every year, and let's go Navy.
There is a diamond of diamonds. It's from De Beers. Only 14 diamond tears in the world can touch them. Its name, Forevermark. And Zachary's is the only jeweler in the Annapolis area that has it. Not only is it beautiful and rare, it has a story, supporting women in diamond-producing areas around the world. So when you give a Forevermark diamond, you don't just give, you give back. Zachary's and Forevermark, a jeweler and a jewel. Online at zacharysjewelers.com.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
Thank God it's...
It is Memorial Day weekend, and just a reminder, we will not have a daily news brief on Monday. We are going to take the day off, but that does not mean that the weekend is not jam-packed, and let's get it going. This weekend, all weekend, it is the opening weekend of the brand new, the reinvigorated Capital SUP, and they are now housed at the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Park, but they're on the park side. They're over there off of Edgewood Road in the Eleanor Moyer Park. They are going to have events going on throughout the whole weekend. Today, they're going to have a fitness class at 5:30. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., they've got stand-up yoga, a yappy hour, that's for dogs, at 1 p.m. Sunday, they're going to have stand-up yoga again in the morning. And Monday, they've got something very special planned for Memorial Day. So you want to get down there to the Eleanor Moyer Park, check them out in their new digs. Their address is 7300 Edgewood Road in Annapolis, and learn all about what they got going there at Capital SUP. Once all the ensigns and second lieutenants move out of the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium a little bit later on today, food trucks will be moving in for an event happening on Saturday. It is Chow for a Cause. It is a food truck festival with salsa and live music. It goes from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tickets are available at Eventbrite, and you can just search Chow for a Cause when you get in there. And this is a fundraiser for Seeds for Success. And what this is a group that mentors kids that are in primarily public housing. They could use a step up to help them succeed in school. It started out as a reading program, but now they're just putting out some brilliant kids here that are really helping them get through school. Again, this goes from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can get tickets at Eventbrite. Just search Chow for a Cause. They are going to have 10 food trucks. They're going to have craft beer. They're going to have dancing to live music. They're going to have bouncy things and all of that stuff at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Once you get done with that, you can head on down to City Dock. The U.S. Naval Academy Band Summer Concert Series begins 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right at Susan Campbell Park at the very end of City Dock. Beautiful way to kick off the weekend. If you want to leave your chair overnight there on Sunday, it is the Annapolis Junction Big Band, and they're going to be performing hits from the Big Band era on Sunday, May 26th, starting at 6:30, so it's a little bit earlier at the City Dock. Again, a lot of fun, free music right down there on the water at City Dock. You may not be able to get a ticket, but you may be able to. Also on Sunday night, the Temptations, yes, the original Temptations, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, will be playing at Maryland Hall for the Creative Arts. The show is at 8 p.m., and currently it is considered sold out, but I have known them to release a few tickets at the very last minute, so you may want to check that out. Ram's Head is putting this on, and they do have a wait list, so you can go to marylandhall.org, click on over into there, and get your name on the wait list if you do want to see the Temptations. And finally, on Monday, it is the City of Annapolis Memorial Day Parade and Wreath Laying Ceremony. Now, this is a time to remember what Memorial Day is all about. It is all about those that have given the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our country. This will be a somewhat solemn parade. There will not be any politicians or political banners or anything like that. It goes the typical parade route down West Street, down to Main Street, down to the end of City Dock at Susan Campbell Park, and there will be a wreath laying there. That gets underway at 10 a.m. It goes till noon. It is one of the better parades in town. It's not a lot of pomp and circumstance. It's not a lot of flash, but it is a very good one. I do encourage you to get up on Monday morning, head on down to Annapolis, and check out the City of Annapolis Memorial Day Parade. And if that's not enough, just get out, stroll around, enjoy the beautiful weather this weekend. Maybe get out on the water. Watermark has a ton of boats. They've got the Harbor Queen. They've got the water taxis are running. Get out on the Woodwind. They're sailing with 2 sails a day. Stroll around, take a look at our town, and have a good one. That does wrap it up for the long weekend. Those are our suggestions. I hope you get to take in 1 or 2 of them. No matter which ones you do, please do it safely, because we do want to see you here on, I would normally say Monday, but we're going to say Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.